Welcome back to Talking Pop Culture, and I have a special guest with me in today's weekly news videos. I'm going to try to crack out every week. We're going to talk about James Gunn being the co-chairman of the DC films, and well, no spoiler alerts now because the film's been out for a while. Black Adam, Henry Cavill is back as Superman. I am joined with Jonathan from Comic Book Cinema. How are you today, Jonathan?
I'm fantastic, Matt. Thanks for having me on.
It's always a pleasure to have you on. Please let people know where they can find you.
They can find us you can find us on Facebook just by searching for Comic Book Cinema. Same with YouTube. You can search us there at Comic Book Cinema. It's a little bit different on Instagram and TikTok. We're at Real Comic Book Cinema there. But yeah, I got lots of cool content. Some stuff that's more humorous and some stuff that's more analytical. But yeah, there's a little bit of stuff there for everybody.
I'll also have the
check it out.
Link to the channel in the description below. So head over and hit subscribe and check out all the cool content. Got to feature on a couple of videos that we recorded. We got doing the Black Panther review of the first film, and we spoke about the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumanium, I can't say that bloody word, trailer. So head over there and check them out. James Gunn, co-director of DC films. What are your thoughts on this before I crack into mine, Jonathan? Do you think this is a good thing, a bad thing?
I think this is brilliant. And here's why. Because some people say that their Lord and Savior is Kevin Feige. I don't subscribe to that. But I do think that Kevin Feige is a genius. And I think that he has brought the MCU into a great direction. Now, some people argue about the direction they're going down now, and some people have issues with Phase 4, which is understandable. But Kevin Feige is a genius. There's no denying that. What he has done from 2008's Iron Man up till now, creating this juggernaut of a success, of a box office madness. I mean, Marvel has done almost nothing wrong. They've had some missteps here and there, sure. But financially, nobody is in their stratosphere. So think about this. James Gunn, big time Marvel guy back in the day, right? Then he got let go for some tweets that might or might not have been 8-9 years old, maybe even older than that. They were distasteful tweets, right? But they were really old. They're from a long, long time ago, way before he started working with Marvel and Disney. And that happened, and then he went over to DC. Well, he probably started going to all the studios and let them bid over him at that point. And then, Warner Brothers had the most intriguing offer. They let him do a weird and wacky Suicide Squad film, which critically was very well received, but box office-wise, probably more than likely due to the fact that it was linked to the first Suicide Squad film. Like people thought it was a direct sequel, or, why would I want to go see that? So that's probably why it wasn't as successful at the box office. But don't forget, Kevin Feige had appointed James Gunn in the MCU that he was going to be like a go-to guy for their outworld type stuff. I'm forgetting the terminology here. Anytime they go into space or beyond, right? He was going to be the consultant for all the directors that were going to be, dealing in that space or that realm. And he was probably already going to be something of a Kevin Feige, assistant. I mean, he was already getting groomed to have a very significant role in Disney until that firing, and then immediate rehiring because Marvel realized what a screw up they committed by letting go someone that is so talented like James Gunn is, so creative and such a great storyteller. So in a nutshell, I think it's brilliant. And I love what David Zaslav and Warner Brothers have been doing over the past 6 months. Ever since Discovery bought Warner Brothers, it seems like they have been making great decision after great decision. So I think the sky is the limit at this point.
Yeah, see, I'm happy that they got someone key up there and someone that has the experience, obviously, with the Marvel and that. But what I'm afraid of, personally speaking, is I didn't like the Suicide Squad. Didn't like it. Thought it was too cheesy, too much comedy. But I'm hoping that, yes, James Gunn will have a direction and all of that kind of stuff. but I'm hoping he doesn't make all these films have that cheesiness, corniness, the kind of Guardians of the Galaxy feel. I like the Peacemaker. I think he's done a brilliant job in the Peacemaker, and want to see more of that. I want to see more of blood sport.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just worried that it's not going to be as great as everyone thinks. That's my fear, that I feel that he's going to just put it in the right direction, but will he is it going to be like the same thing as like Kevin Feige? Will the directors be able to direct their films, do their films, and he's just going to say, okay, this is the plan, this is a story going ahead, this is our 10-year plan, this is what we want to get. You need to make sure you do your film, but you need to add this, this, and this in it. Or is he going to have hands-on with all of these other directors as well during their films while they're making them? You get what I'm saying? Like he's saying, oh, no, maybe you should add this, and oh, no, maybe you should add that. That's what I'm afraid of, because he's obviously a director. He's going to be producing it, and I'm just worried he's going to say, oh, no, you should maybe do this way and do this way and do this way. And that's going to then cause the problems within DC. And we're going to have the same shit that we had previously, where instead of the suits now getting involved and saying, hey, no, you got to do this to Zack Snyder, or do this, it's now going to be James Gunn. Or will he just let it all go, let the people direct, say, yep, this is it? That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm scared of. Black Adam was brilliant. I loved it, enjoyed it. Take away The Rock's performance. I know he's the main character, but I enjoyed it more because of the JSA, Cyclone. Black Adam is a step forward. It's a step forward, which was good. It's setting it up. But let's just hope and pray. And I know it's a mixed reactions. I know some people I've spoken to said, nah, James Gunn, I'm worried about as well, taking it DC in this direction. But I don't know, man. I guess we're going to find out in time. But I was one of my mates messaged me. Originally, I thought he was joking, saying, James Gunn, co-director, what do you think? And I was just like, nah, tell him to stay away from it. I hope that's, and then, yeah, the next day I find out, oh shit, when I was on news site, what, this is actually legit? I thought he was just, thinking of a theory. And I was like, yeah, no.
I think the fact that he is a he's not just a former director, he's still directing movies. So the fact that he has been a director and he has been in that position where he has a Kevin Feige here, I think that's a great thing. That's going to, I don't think that this position is going to go to his head. At least I hope not. I think that he's going to know what it's like being there as a director, wanting to see his vision realized. So I don't think he's going to interfere that much. I really don't. And I think that's the whole point of them doing this, of them putting him in this position to prevent further studio interference, which we've seen a lot of in the past with Warner Brothers. I can never think of the guy's name. Asian guy. I always want to say Mario, but that is not in his name anywhere. The guy that they had in that place before, and he's even on the credits in Black Adam, but he was kind of in that role before the Zaslav. I think he was recently let go, obviously. And then the other guy. Hamada? Yes, Walter Hamada.
Walter Hamada. Yes. That's it.
He did fine. I thought Walter did fine, like with the movies that were under his reign, because don't forget, Black Adam is still technically a movie that was under the Hamada era, right? So was Aquaman, so was Shazam. Wonder Woman 84 was not, and neither was Birds of Prey. His reign took over right about the Aquaman, Shazam era. So he was doing fine. I don't know why they got rid of him, or if he might still be there just in a smaller capacity or smaller role. But yeah, I think that David Zaslav is doing a great job, and nothing that he has done has made me worry that the decisions that he's making going forward will be poor decisions for the DCU now. It's not the DCEU anymore. They recently announced that it's just the DCU. So I think it's a great thing. The fact that he has that former experience, just like in my realm, right? I'm a safety manager, right? In the construction world. And a lot of times when safety men that have never worked on their tools, before getting promoted to a safety manager, don't know what it's like to be working and sweating, same thing goes here. He's been in that spot before, and he doesn't want to take anything away from these directors. So I think it's going to be a good fit. I really do.
Well, time will tell. But the one good thing that has happened recently happened in Black Adam. Everyone was nice enough to keep their mouth shut for a week, but now it's been a couple of weeks. It's the cat's out of the bag. We can talk about it now. We've got the post-credit scene. You got the beautiful picture there behind there. Henry Cavill is back. There were talks before this post-credit scene that there was going to be a Man of Steel 2 film. I didn't want to believe it. I was like, whatever. Until I hear it out of DC's mouth, I do not care, or Warner Brothers' mouth. I do not care about the rumors, because mostly the times they are wrong. But my God, this was DC and Warner Brothers saying, yep, we've got Henry back. We're going to make a Man of Steel 2. I'm sure that's what this was, because we didn't get him at DC Fandom. They canceled DC Fandom. They didn't do anything at San Diego Comic-Con. And obviously they kept it for this. I want a Brainiac film. I think it's long overdue to have Brainiac. Yes. We've had Zod twice. We had him in the Reeves, and we had him in Man of Steel. I think it's time to bring in Brainiac. I think they could do a brilliant storyline with Brainiac, and that is my hopes. But what are your thoughts? Firstly, I'm sure you're stoked that Henry's back, as he's also stopped doing The Witcher. So
yes, which is fine, because that show blows.
So he's obviously going to put more time and effort into this whole DC role. But what are you on? What, Man of Steel 2? What, same Brainiac, or is there other characters you might want to see him take on?
No, I think Brainiac's the perfect. I mean, it's the obvious choice. It's an iconic Superman villain we have never seen on the big screen, right? So yes, bring in Supergirl. This is your chance to bring in a Supergirl organically, because it kind of fits into the storyline with Brainiac. I don't know if you've ever played Injustice or Injustice 2.
No, I'll get the collector's editions. I got the statues up there, mate.
But man, I mean, it would just be perfect. So yes, Brainiac's a no-brainer, and Henry Cavill, I don't care what anyone says, Henry Cavill is the best, the perfect Superman that we've ever seen on screen. Christopher Reeve was great. Yes, he laid the blueprint out, but he can't hold a candle to Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is a mountain of a man. He makes you truly believe that he could be from Krypton. I mean, this guy is jacked, and I love Man of Steel. I think that Man of Steel was a great first entry. Maybe not a great first entry to build your DCEU, but I love that movie. And I know it was divisive for whatever reason. I guess people wanted to see a happier Superman. But in my opinion, it was done so well. And in that scenario, I mean, that was a very dark scenario that he was thrusted into as a brand new Superman. So, yes, I think that Henry Cavill is great. And it's a no-brainer to do Brainiac. I mean, why not? You might could have Black Adam come in, and have them do that in the part 2 of Superman, which is probably what they're going to do.
I don't want a Black Adam. I wanted it, but now after seeing Black Adam, I don't really want a Black Adam versus Superman film.
Yeah, I hope they don't do it. Yeah, I hope, like you're saying, I hope they don't do the film of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, throw it in there. Sprinkle it in, the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of one of the films, but give us Brainiac.
Yeah. Oh, mate, Brainiac's definitely got to come in it. And then maybe down the line, I liked Mongol up in the comics. He's a pretty vicious else kind of character they could do. But yeah, I think Mongol would be another good character that they could put into the film. But have you heard of Mongol? Do you know who Mongol is, or?
Well, the only Mongol that I've heard of, and I'm not very savvy when it comes to DC comics, you're more of the DC expert, but the only Mongol that I'm familiar with is in the Suicide Squad film, the female that jumped on the helicopter and pulled it down.
Yeah, was that his daughter? I totally forgot about her that's how much I paid attention to the Suicide Squad film.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Well, Mongol, they just finished a massive story arc in the Action Comics series of Mongol, which was really good, decent. But yeah, he was more, I wouldn't say dark side level kind of threat, but he's kind of that next step down. I would put him in the middle of like Brainiac and Darkseid.
You know what else would be great, but they're probably not going to do it now at this point? Doomsday. But since they already screwed it up in the BBS, but an actual proper Doomsday, that would be great.
Well, I just want a Man of Steel 2. I think we'll probably get it. I reckon I'll announce it at the San Diego Comic-Con next year. That will be their big announcement. Yeah. And I think it'll be 2-3 years away, maybe even 4. But yeah, we'll see what happens. After watching Black Adam, I just hope they more stick to the JSA. I say, don't worry about the Justice League. I say, just have your Batman, your Wonder Woman, Superman, Aquaman, have them do all their films, just standalone ones, but, obviously feature each other, cameos, whatever, be a part of the same universe. But I think they should need to focus now on the JSA. I think they've got so much momentum right now that should be what they go forward with. But that's my opinion. Anyway, we'll wrap it off. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Be sure I have in the description below there to head over to comic book cinema. I always mumble my bloody words. It's got some great content, great reviews, awesome stuff. So go and check it out and hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button here as well. Once we hit that 500 subs, going to do the big giveaway, a bunch of books, Amazon gift cards. So yeah, and we'll see you guys soon with another video. Take care.